To the Mercy School District Board of Education meeting. President Cooper, we'd like to recognize we have all board members in attendance, as well as our business administrator and our superintendent tonight. And to begin, we'd like to start with our Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by a group from Riverview Junior High. I didn't get a chance to meet with them before, so after you do the pledge, if you will please stay up here real quick and take each turn to give us your name and what grade you're in and what your favorite class is. As long as it's gym, we're good. But before you sit down, we'd like to get that from you, then we'll let you go ahead and sit back down. Let you come on.
David, and I'm in 8th grade, and my favorite class is probably English Honors. I'm an 8th grade. My favorite class is probably construction technology.
Thank you, Jen. I appreciate your time doing that today. I'd like to proceed now with swearing in of our two new board members, who are not necessarily new, but are returning, but both Kelly and myself were elected over the last election, and as such, we need to be sworn in once again. So we will now invite Nikki from the deputy Salt Lake County Clerk, is that what it is? And however you'd like us to come out, or whichever we will lead oblige.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much for inviting me to come and be part of this today. It's always a really exciting moment. So on behalf of Salt Lake County and Salt Lake County Clerk's Office, congratulations. Thank you all for your service and you do for your community. It's about myself and just all of it. It's not an easy road to get here and it's not an easy job to have. So just before we get started, thank you very much. So today I will have you each, if you want to come down here or stay there, whatever works for you.
Tradition, by the way,
Okay, perfect. So we'll have you stand, we'll do the oath, and then I'll have you sign 2 oath documents so that you can copy, and then our office will file the other copy, and also get your election certificates. Where the I'm holding is stated.
I do solemnly swear, before the is
I swear to support, obey, and
I swear to support, obey, and defend
of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States
And the Constitution of the State of Utah. And
and the Constitution of the State of Utah.
And that I will discharge the duties of my office. And that I will
Discharge the duties of my office as school board member.
with fidelity. With fidelity. Congratulations.
I decided a copy.
No, I am back, but.
And just a moment of personal privilege, we'd love for those who are here supporting board member paper, board member Coyote, just to stand and be recognized. So if you're here for one of these individuals, we want to appreciate you being here. And we'd like to give you just a minute to maybe Kelly come up and put your things out.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for being with us.
We move to our consent agenda. Our consent agenda.
I did the video of the.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a second. Is there any further discussion? The agenda. All in favor? Any opposed? And motion so passes. We will now move to our delegations. We'll start with PTA.
That is the fourth, but I'm just supposed to kind of give a blurb about what's happening with the PTSA at Riverview.
Absolutely, Commissioner.
I guess just to share a couple of the little things that I said, not anything huge going on at the moment. But this year, we're really trying to get students more involved. And so now, we haven't done it before this year, to my knowledge, but we've got students coming, PTA members. Student members of the PTSA coming to each of our meetings during the school day. And they get to hear, you know, the principal's report, and it's been really fun to hear their comments. Like, we're gonna do a service project that one of the students suggested for the year, so that's been really fun. I think a couple other positives. It was really fun. We did like little thank you cards. We went at lunch and to bring the kids leftover Halloween candy, we had a bride, but invited kids to come out and write thank you notes to their teachers, and we used 250 thank you notes over the course of lunch for kids to come out and just tell their teachers thanks, you're great. So that was really fun to see how many kids wanted to come and do that. And then I guess my other thing, one of the programs we're doing is in Raptors, and it's really fun to see the wide variety of students that are selected. So we as a PTSA are helping to put awards and things that these kids get, and I love that it's not necessarily the typical student who's always key. Getting the award is not like your 4.0 honor roll, I don't think, from what I don't know what the history they're actually. But it's really fun to see just a wide variety of kids with different interests and backgrounds coming in and getting acknowledged for the great things they do. So, any questions?
Questions? Thank you. I appreciate your time. Please share with us, from us, our appreciation of your PTA team. We know that our school is rolling as good as the PTA team now, support them and other things that they do. Appreciate it. It does not go unnoticed. We'll now go to Murray Education Association. Crystal.
Crystal Morgan, here as a representative from the MD board. We decided to just kind of share that with the legislative session beginning, we're encouraging teachers to go participate in days on panel, just to kind of experience that. Having done it in the past, it's actually pretty cool, like seeing quite a different things connect to me being in the classroom. So that's one of the things we're going to encourage. Our UVA elections are up as well, the next president and president girls for the election. Congratulations to your position today. And then as a teacher, from the teachers, we just want to thank you for those end of term work days. They're really helpful. And tomorrow I'm looking busy start to end. But that's all I can do.
Thank you.
The critical question is that UVA elections is at every UVA. So the UVA at that level, the president and the vice president of the election.
Do you know when those happen? So
Okay.
I don't either. I just wonder, I was just wondering.
So I know it comes in the newsletter they send.
Okay.
Not the problem.
Not a problem. No, thank you. Didn't need a good chance.
Do you anticipate anybody from Murray have an interest in
I
it?
have been telling everyone that it's available. I have some of the members that the people who have been putting the information out to us at our meetings. Also, one of their positions was up for re-election, so we've been letting them know.
Thank you. Appreciate it. We'll now go to Murray Association of Administrators.
We don't have anything for you tonight, but I was thinking President Cooper, if you need it, congratulations, something about. We don't have anything for you tonight, but thank you.
Thank you. My wife would probably say that I should do that because you play for BYU and then I think she loves them more than me. All right, we'll go with Nespa. Stay.
Dane has asked to be excused this evening.
God, we're over Education Foundation.
So we have a lot of fun things going on. It's going to be a busy few months as we wrap up the school year. And we were talking about wrapping up the school year and we started. It's like, but we have the technical awards, which nominations continue through the rest of this month. So you all and others that you're going with nominate some of our teachers and make them feel extra special this year. That process again, I think at the end of this month, we're going to have the awards gala that they were planning for on March 20th. And then we've also got a new tournament called, or a new fundraiser called the Pickleball Tournament. That will benefit United Sports and the Special Education Teacher Grant Program. So I have information on each of those two things that I'll just give you and pass on for you to share with others if you're so inclined. I think I already gave it to Jill once today, so it's your second copy. You can pass it around and share it with your friends. Yeah.
And I've seen both of these on social media.
Yes, I've been very, trying to be prolific in getting the information out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully we do have a lot of nominations already, but we could always use more. There's, I think we're a new supply of wonderful things that teachers are doing, and so noteworthy being nominated for. The Angels Foundation program that we had for the Christmas break was phenomenal. We had some asking support. The good article on our website to kind of illustrate all the different places we received funding and support from, but it was truly a rewarding opportunity from my vantage point to be able to see all of the giving in this community, which is really enormous. It's just amazing how much people care about our kids and our teachers and want to do more to help and support them. So that's great. I have the couple of things also coming up. We have the Laura Baker Professional Learning Grant that will be opening up for teachers to apply for. We have endorsement, gifted and talented endorsement grant that we're going to offer to teachers this year to hopefully encourage two teachers to be able to apply for and receive that. And we're also working on high school senior scholarship program. Offer a number of students, so we're excited about that too. And if there's anything you need or have questions about, you can answer those. But that's basically where we're at.
Okay, any questions for them? Thank you, Niles. Thank you. And we will now go to patron statements. Do we have any patron statements, Doug?
Yes, there are.
Well, you're bringing that up, and I will go ahead and read our statement for patron statements. Now is the time to hear from our public. We welcome your comments, which are important to us. Please note that all comments are limited to 3 minutes with a total of 30 minutes set aside for public comments. Public statements are welcome for new issues, new programs, policy suggestions, and other issues that have not recently come before the board. During this segment of the meeting, statements are not allowed regarding bidding contracts, employment or personal issues, criticism of individual district employees, complaints or other appeals are available, repetition of issues recently discussed in a board meeting or items which have a separate public hearing. During this portion of the meeting, we ask that the audience refrain from clapping or cheering. When your name is called, please go to the podium to comment. It is helpful for the board if you would give us your name. Please address your remarks to the board chair. Note that we will not be entering into dialogue at this time. The purpose of this agenda item is for you, the public, to inform us, the board, about your views. If members of the public have factual questions, staff will be glad to address them after the meeting. And we will first go with Nate Hildebrand.
Good evening. My name is Nate Hildebrand. I am representing youth lacrosse programs here in the local area. My understanding is there's not a good venue for me to take this sort of situation so I thought this would be a good place to start. So any further information would be lovely. I did want to take a moment to just provide a personal story. My older brother played lacrosse when it was just really in its infancy here in Valley. I remember a lot of my days as a youth going to his games here at Murray on the football field, where Murray and High School had a lot of plays, games that were for the state championship as a club organization. The inaugural season of 2019 to 2020, a lot of the other school districts had voted in favor to sanction lacrosse for Mountain Valley. It is my understanding that Murray School District has not done so. So just looking for information, see if this has been brought to the board, and if it has not been voted in favor, just understand why that might be the case. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Robert, I apologize if I can't pronounce your name at the level, I just how do you come up?
Sure, Robert Cordova. Thanks so much for allowing the time. And I know I've been given a few minutes here, so I've decided to write down some things to say for that time limit. And I thank you for the opportunity to formally express these concerns to the board. I'd like for you to imagine for a moment an elementary student that needs to use the restroom in school. Imagine that an adult follows them inside, even entering the stall with them until they're finished. Without context, this might seem shocking or even unlawful, but context matters. If I told you the student had special physical, educational, and emotional needs, your perception might shift. What initially seemed punishable can now be seen as a compassionate act, an educator providing comfort and normalcy for a child, enabling their right to a public education. I'm a concerned father with 3 children attending Longview Elementary School, one in the special education program. My purpose tonight is not to address employment or personnel issues, but to highlight significant concerns regarding policy interpretation, potential gaps in existing policies, and the mistreatment of families, myself included, who have sought clarity and understanding on matters involving the most vulnerable student population. Specifically, there were multiple incidents where a celebrated, loved, and award-winning staff member at Longview was reprimanded repeatedly for what was determined as inappropriate or unlawful conduct involving students in the special ed program. Despite the seriousness of these incidents and reprimands, families were not involved in any communication. When we later discovered what had occurred, our efforts to provide context which would support the educator's action, given the unique needs of our children, efforts to seek information were met with discouragement and mistreatment, including personal attacks and lies, leaving families in the dark about issues affecting our children. In addition to these failures in communication, it has become increasingly clear that the policies governing educator conduct, reporting, and family involvement lack the specificity and transparency needed to prevent these situations, specifically when involving special needs children and their families. The absence of clearly defined guidelines leaves room for inconsistent interpretation, putting both students and educators at risk. Without comprehensive and enforced policies, the district cannot ensure the safety, dignity, and trust that our children and our families deserve. In response, I've actively worked to support and advocate for our families, urging the creation and clarification of policies that protect our most vulnerable students, many of whom cannot speak for themselves and their families. While I've been told that these issues have been reviewed and noted, I have not seen clear direction or action to implement changes in policy or accountability measures to ensure such incidents are not reported within our school district. As a member of the community, I request to be involved in discussions on this critical topic, as I believe this is both my right and my responsibility. And I have 5 minutes because I'm representing Mohawk Valley.
I'll give you one.
However, I see no meaningful steps towards real change or accountability. What remains evident is lack of clear, consistent policies or guidelines. The determination of what constitutes appropriate and inappropriate conduct is currently left to the subjective judgment of administrators who lack the context of our children's unique needs in the special education setting. The subjective approach risks neglecting the care, understanding, and humanity necessary to serve students who are as special and unique as the challenges they face. I'm requesting 3 actions. 1, the establishment of clear policies and guidelines to ensure timely, effective, and consistent communication with parents. 2, provisions to existing policies to include accommodations that address and protect the unique needs of students in a special education setting. And 3, accountability measures for members of the administration who repeatedly mistreated, misinformed, blighted families, along with appropriate reprimands for such behavior. In closing, I urge you to act swiftly to address these issues, promote transparency, and restore trust with the families impacted by the recent events of Longview Elementary. Our community is not only grieving the loss of the most dedicated caregiver many of our families have ever known, but it is also grappling with the resulting instability, fear, and emotional strain that deeply affected our kids. Thank you, Sergeant.
Thank you. Okay. We will now move to the report of the board, and we will start. I've started with you the last few times, haven't I?
Yeah.
Can I start with you again?
Yeah, it's fine. I always never, like, I never have enough. I feel like that, like, I like to give to everything, so. Anyways, so I'd like to start by congratulating Jared and Kelly once again. I'm happy to continue working with you and then the other thing I have was my report from USBA. And my favorite session from USBA was the student school board leaders. I think that would be a very cool thing to implement on our board one day if we do make that happen. Then to see it. That is all.
Make a note of that. Okay, Kenny.
I don't have a whole lot to report other than, we are going to elect new board leadership, so. We are going to elect board leadership. And so appreciative to Jared and Kelly for the additional work that they've done over the last 2 years in those two positions. That's definitely after another layer of responsibility, so thank you. And I think you've done a fabulous job. I too was interested with how many student leaders were on the board, or at the convention that have been elected to the board. So I too about this to visit that possibility. Yes, it could be the right word, sorry. Possibility of adding that to our board. And I think I probably saw at least 5 to 10 boards that had student leaders on it. So I thought that was a great thing. And
Jill.
I also would like to thank Jared and Kelly for the jobs that they've done as I've been on the board. And I'm grateful that they've been reelected to continue to represent students here in our district. Those constituents don't know what great champions they have. Or maybe they do, and that's why they vote for you. I enjoyed the USBA conference. I learned a lot about just in formal classes and also in casual conversations about how to best work with individuals and how to be more transparent in what we do. And I just really appreciate it. My favorite session was one where they asked for 3 or 4 top discussion topics, and we get to talk with other districts about those, other district boards about those, and I always come away from those types of sessions having learned so much and got a different perspective. I also want to comment on the MEF. They are really taking a lot of activities on. MEF being the Murray Education Foundation. I really appreciate Doug's leadership in that, and as I have been able to be involved in those meetings, I'm just amazed at how much people want to make school better for kids and for teachers, and how much effort goes into making sure we have the funds that will help our schools to be their best. And I also am grateful for the opportunity to work with PTA. There we have some great individuals who are making sure we have recollections and spelling bee, and I was touched today by really impacted today as I looked at all the different committees that occurred, the science fair and all of those things that happen, and that our community members are so actively pursuing and making sure it happen for our schools. It's just amazing to me how many good people there are here in our area. And that's kind of my report for now. I can hardly wait to see what spring brings.
Thank you, Jill.
Yeah.
Kelly.
I just wanted to speak on, I talked about the angel tree process, and I walked into help with a tiny little back end, but to walk into that room and see the tables and the labels and the bags and the gifts was overwhelming to walk in and see. Thinking about these kids and the magic that our community provided for them was really touching to me. So I just wanted to thank our public and the community partners for knocking it out of the park. It was an amazing experience. I really appreciate also the pickleball tournament that's supporting our unified sports, and just wanted to give a little shout out to our unified sports over at the high school. They do such amazing things, and to see, because I've known a few of these students since they were younger, and to watch their progress through the unified sports program and how it has absolutely changed their demeanor is astounding. So grateful that we are being creative in how we can support that program a little better. And the convention that we went to, I really appreciate the classes and the training that those state leaders put on in our behalf. But I also really appreciate the time to just get to know the fellow board members better, and just being in candid settings and laughing together really brings my heart close to them, and I appreciate that. And I think my favorite class that I attended, I did really like the student board member, and to see those students, they had Provo School District had their 2 student board members do the presentation. My goodness, I could not believe these were high school seniors. They were absolutely astounding. And look forward to giving some of our children that opportunity as well. But the class that I will report on was about turnaround schools, and just seeing it was an administrator from another school district presenting, but she had her beginnings in Murray School District. And I remember her being a brand new 6th grade teacher at Grant Elementary when I was there with my kids, and just to watch her present and see what she's done was really a fun thing. But just took some really good nuggets from that presentation of maybe things that we could focus on, and for me to definitely think about. So just appreciate my job, appreciate the people I work with. I'm sorry, I was so long-winded.
Thank you. I like everyone else enjoyed the conference last week. These sessions, the one session that I think I enjoyed the most was the SPED training session. And not to get into the specifics, but it was just enlightening to kind of see some of the general ideas and things that they're talking about and they're concerned about. And there was a handout that was given to all of us, and my plan is to make copies to that. I know some of you others may have attended it, but for those of you that did not, I'm going to get the copy of the handout notes so you can review them. It's the opportunity to kind of just see what they're looking at and talking about with that. Also, I had the opportunity to participate in the Solid County Parks and Recs Advisory Council meeting yesterday. There's a lot of change going on within Solid County Parks and Recs in the sense of their leadership structure. A lot of people are getting ready to retire, and so they're looking at how they're going to change some of that. But the thing that was probably the most enlightening was last year, you may recall that they figured out a way to fund free passes for all children. And I think they had 70,000 of those passes that were being given out last year. And one of the board members up there had the opportunity to attend to go to the Taylorsville Rec Center this last weekend on a Friday night, and they were just in awe as to how many youth were actually in the rec center participating in activities and just having fun. And that also equates to keeping kids off the streets or in areas that might not be best for them and some of the decisions that they might make. So really very positive things from that. Murray City's Park and Rec program is not associated with that, but it gives me opportunity to, again, I think, reapproach our city council and see what we can do to kind of mimic that as well, because I feel like there's some value to that for our community, our children in the community. So hopefully we can make that happen going forward. I don't know if it will happen quickly, but at least they're also aware, and I'm sure they're feeling pressure just in general from them not being one of the few parks and rec centers that doesn't participate in that. So hopefully we can help with that going forward. And that is what I have for my part.
May I just take a moment? I know it's not a board report, but I did want to congratulate the board and make sure that our public is aware that the Murray Board of Education, all members of the Murray Board of Education completed what's called the Master Board Certification. And so our board fully went through that. We will get a plaque. It's a training and some training modules that board members go through. And so this is the first year that our entire board has done that. And so that, I think that's great. I think it's good for all of us to go through that training and have some of that same language. So I just wanted to recognize the board members for being Master Board certified.
Thank you. All right.
That's fine.
Before I move to open up to the board leadership, I kind of want to take a minute and just thank everybody for their support and the time that I've had to fill this role at this point in time. And depending on whatever decisions go forward, I'm fully supportive of however that leadership structure is. I hope that whoever that may be will take some time to make sure that Richard understands which tune is the gentleman was playing at the conference without having to search on his phone. And let us additional joke. Only he knows that. But and you have words I have recording it. Thanks for mentioning that. Recorded a song just after, so I couldn't get it that fast. Anyway, sorry.
That would be me.
I digress, but with that, I will now turn the time over to us setting up our leadership for the next 2 years, years 2025 through 2027. I will entertain motions.
I move that we nominate Kelly.
And we have a nomination for Kelly for president. We have a second for that. Do you have any further discussion? All right, all in favor of
We
Kelly?
need to stay open for if anyone else wants to nominate someone
Well,
else.
I'm assuming it's still open. Do you have any other nominations? Sorry.
I assume.
Yeah, if not, then we will move forward with that. We have already a second motion. All in favor of voting Kelly for president of the Merced School District Board of Education for 2025 through 2027? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that is for 2025 to 2027. Kelly Turley is our new president. We will now proceed with our voting for vice president. And prepare to entertain a motion for Merced School District vice president.
I move that we nominate Jill for vice president.
We have a nomination for Jill for vice president. We have a second.
I'll second.
We have a second. We have any further discussion or any other nominations? With that, we will proceed. All in favor of Jill being our vice president?
Aye.
Any opposed? And the ayes have it. So we will have Jill Wade as our vice president of Merced School District. I'm assuming that will all transition for the next board meeting. It's way in time, so congratulations. We look forward to your leadership and how we move forward. And the next item on the agenda is our board assignments. It's usually the same thing. We try to take time to look at the many different subcommittees and other areas of accountability that we bring out as members of the board.
I would like to keep reinstating assignments. That's okay.
No.
The one thing I would like to discuss on the assignments, Jared and I have served on the audit committee for 8 years. And that is a huge learning curve. Every time we still learn. So I'm suggesting that one of us either can we add someone to that audit committee? And I don't know if we can.
I don't know if we could do for us because that would be the quorum.
Yeah, we can only do
Yes. So I'm suggesting that one of us one of us no longer serve on that audit committee and adding someone who has not served on that to get that additional experience moving forward.
I would agree.
And I'm fine with it.
So,
Is this discussion on that?
Yeah.
yeah,
So I think, Tammy, I really appreciate that you're on that committee because you think in a way that helps that make sense when you describe it to us here. So I hope you will consider being one that stays. And I don't know, you know, Jared is ready to step down, but I hope you'll stay.
And I do have no problem either way, working on that. Does anybody else have interest in serving on that wonderful book reading audit?
I wouldn't mind, that's an area definitely that I could learn and more of and.
and I would say, given the importance of that review and being part of that committee, there probably needs to be some of the residency being beneficial for that, just.
So, and I'm going to stay on, I just.
So Cammy, sorry,
Tammy, Kelly, the finance. Audit.
I'd like to bring up something about the MEA, MES, like bring it up. Pretty going on.
Is that all there yet?
yeah, second, or, yeah, right.
It's the third one down, but do you want to do the other first?
I think we need to go.
And then, oh, yeah, there's no every house in the order.
I have really enjoyed serving on the MEF. Really enjoyed. But my situation is such that their meeting time and my life in the winter don't coincide. So as I spoke with Doug today, he said they'd be willing to let me call in or zoom in for those months that it's difficult for me. But perhaps someone else would like to have that
What's the
opportunity.
meeting schedule for that?
And they're at 7:30 in the morning.
Second Tuesday of the
Second
month.
Tuesday, I'm sorry.
How long are they?
And so I'd be glad to continue, but it might be better if someone that could actually be there and during those months that I couldn't be there. So I'm willing to give it up for the year as well. Or the 2 years.
That was my schedule.
Yeah. And I haven't served, I've served on that when I was first on board, but I haven't served on it for many years, so. It's up to you, Joe, I would.
No, I'm glad to step aside because I think, you know, but I still keep me in the loop. I'd love to stay in the loop, and especially my pickleball team is getting ready. So I won't complain, but I'll be cheering.
I'm not opposed to that, this is also kind of the, to some of the, some fundraising.
Yeah, so I don't know.
If you want that one, right, that's great,
I can try and get that one on.
okay.
And then I'll stop talking in just a second here. I'd love to stay on with the PTA, if that's.
Should I honestly for that?
Do you want it?
Yeah.
If I have one.
Yes, but they're good, no, I think that you're, that's great.
Remind me again which one's yours.
I looked that up. It is, I am district technology and Murray School District Delegate Assembly.
I don't, sorry, may I just, I don't believe we had anybody at the conference. Now that we have 3 regions in our district, we did not have a delegate, right? So we do not need this for this time. So we don't need that because that's gonna be covered by Salt Lake and Public School.
So we have to have somebody there that's gonna vote for us, but that's just. Aside from that.
We need,
Well,
we need our,
Well,
we need district, we probably should have a delegate and then an alternate delegate, but yeah, the first one, that's right, we need those 2 were.
And can you remind me when the delegate assembly is?
Should I count?
June, yes, it's
8th, that's Saturday.
Graduation.
Okay. then I can continue doing that one. Or be an alternate if someone else wants to, that's fine.
That could be the alternative. If we need somebody for that.
So. Here. Sure, and then Joe, sure, else for them.
And Jill was the PTA one. We haven't done much just really quickly with the safety committee, but in light of House Bill 84, there's gonna be a lot of things that are coming down that we're going to need to. So we would love to perhaps have a board member. I don't anticipate we have a other committee, safety committee meetings, but there's gonna be some things that we need to take some hard looks at and make some decisions on with House Bill 84 and then the amendments that are coming forth in this legislative session, so.
Just really quick, Jen, you put my name as Elizabeth PTA.
Yep, you're Elizabeth PTA.
Just need to, sorry, sorry, that's fine. I was like, well, Sharon, are you
Comfortable continuing with the software?
I am, and I think it's probably not that I'm trying to self-promote. They've had a lot of turnover on just board members as well, so at least it makes it a lot of problem.
So then,
yeah, you have it.
look at me, I ended up when you want, how did that happen?
Plenty of things in the pipe.
I don't think we took both on those. Assignments.
I just don't think there's anything else that we have. Should go on and for this. Facilities.
I thought about that. I thought about facilities and I thought about grade realignment, reconfiguration, but I think that's probably going to be. We need to have some discussions as a board and study sessions, and then we could perhaps, if we want to have some small focus groups or things like that. Sign members of the board at that time, but that's
Those facilities kind
for
of.
the facilities, the master plan, grade realignment, all of those things. Those are big. And I think that my thought would be to have us start as a big group and then decide what types of committees we'd like to have moving forward as we make those decisions.
And then I'm sure as we get deeper into our building process, there may be committees that we need in that building process.
And just for the board's information, I think I conveyed this to some of you, but maybe not all of you. Starting next month, we will have a monthly report on where we are with our buildings. So that day there will be a monthly report of what's happening and what's upcoming. So the board will be informed of that.
Today, maybe I'll do that. If not, we will proceed with report of the staff and we MSC 2025 Wilson Award recipients, Scott.
So before I read this, I invite technology coordinator Jason Air with us. Our City School District has been selected as the recipient of the Consultant for School Networking's 2025 Community Leadership Award for Digital Equity. This prestigious award recognizes the district's outstanding efforts to eliminate digital education inequities and bridge the access gap for all students. The award will be presented at the Consortium for School Networking's annual conference in April, held in Seattle. We're proud to recognize and celebrate the exceptional work of our technology coordinator, Jason Air, and his dedicated team whose efforts have made this achievement possible. So this evening, we're happy to have Jason here join us to share more about this award and the impactful work that his team is doing to advance digital equity in our district.
This award came as a pretty big surprise to me because this is the single biggest award that exists that I know of in education in this country, inside of the technology side of education. We were nominated by one of our vendors who helped us with a project last year where we gave homeless students a second Chromebook that would go home with them so that Chromebooks stayed charging at the school at all times. And last year, our homeless population went up from about 50 students to 120 at one time. And so there's definitely a lot of challenges happening inside our students' lives. and happening inside our district. So a couple of things, this is kind of a quiet rollout of this award. We received notice of the award in December and have been asked to not really talk publicly about it, although this is public, until the award is given on April 1st. All choice days to receive this award. But as part of the process of receiving the award, we have been asked to create a video that highlights some of the things that we've done as a district. And so part of this is an invitation for you to join with us in working on that video. The vendor that nominated us is a company that makes Chromebooks called CTL, and they're actually offering to bring a camera crew. This honestly will be, I think, the third time that we've had a professional camera crew come and talk about our equity efforts. Last year, Intel brought a crew that talked about some of the work that we're still working out the bugs in Parkside. And then Cradle Point featured us a few years back, which is now part of Ericsson, the cellular company that builds all your towers and equipment. So I'm very proud, I'm very humble. What's that?
Oh, board member Payne asked if we had MSNBC come in. We did.
So we have been recognized on the Sunday version of the Today Show. The Today Show people and NBC actually sent a camera crew out to highlight our efforts for vaccinating teachers. And when they showed up, we're like, which press conference are you here for? Because we held an event in this very room with the governor, who actually took the network that we helped the homeless students with, and are now actually doing a lot of school buses where we can do a lot of safety and other things. So I'm very humbled. I want to say thank you for your guys' support. This is a very big recognition. COSMN is our leadership entity for technology in the state. Union actually sponsors every district, and every district belongs to this organization. And I try to go to their conference every other year. I wasn't planning on going, but I have taken advantage of the free registration on turning request into June to go up and accept an award after this video will be made display for the entirety of the conference. I can tell you that the set of vendors who attend this conference, the set of attendees who attend this conference, and if you were to look at who's received this award, these are places like Fresno District, California. There was a district in Dallas that was on it last year. A few years ago, Desert Sands, which is Palm Desert. Our efforts are right next to theirs. We also will be highlighting some of the ways for using artificial intelligence inside our classrooms to do translation. And so I hope that you get a chance to see with our rolling this out, what happens, and then they will have templates for social media and for the greater media that will send out the awards officially announced. So thank you. I guess I should say any questions for me.
I would love to see the video or share that if you could bring it back here and.
Absolutely, I'd be more than happy. We have a deadline of March, which for me, I think it would make sense to make it before your March board meeting, and you can shut out earlier any board meeting. If you guys are not that with that. We are hoping to use, for example, the crew that did the Parkside video captured a sunrise in Parkside that we want to keep. There's actually a statement with Jen that's in the Cradle Point video that I definitely want there. And so there will be a few things from existing video trying to get permission to use. But we would love to interview you guys as part of this and have you guys be a big part of that video, because although the award calls me out by name, the award really is what we've done together. Recognition that we're doing this district. So.
Thank you, Jason. Congratulations to you and your team.
Hey, it's like we now proceed to the superintendent.
All right, so it is that time of the year when our school community councils are beginning to plan their school land trust plans. And previously we have used this framework for our teacher student success account funds, that also known as TSSA funds. We have kept this framework consistent so that our schools have consistency from year to year as they're making those plans. The teacher student success account funds need to be used to improve school performance and student academic achievement based on one of these 4 areas. And so it is now required in statute that this comes to the board and has approval of the board. We have to submit those minutes when we submit those TSSA plans that will be coming in our March and April board meetings. So we have 4 parts of our framework. The first one is provide learning opportunities for students to excel personally, professionally, and academically. The second is foster a culture of mutual respect, leadership development, transparency, and collaboration. The third is integrate technology to impact student achievement. And the 4th is ensure responsible stewardship over financial resources. And then under each of those, we have some statements that as our school community councils plan their school TSSA funds, it needs to fit into one of these 4 areas and one of these kind of subcategories. In our district, I'm going to go down to the bottom here. We, as a reminder for TSSA, the school district does retain, consistent with code, 25% of the total allocation for teacher salary enhancements. And then the TSSA funds are distributed based on the school's prior year average daily membership. So that's how it is. And how we have done this, and I think it's worked well for the past several years. If you recall, we have a school land trust plan, because that's a separate pot of money. And then we have the TSSA plans, and we couch those under the student success plans, and the student success plans contain the goals and action steps and measurements that are in the school land trust plan, plus the monies along with the action steps and finances that are going to be used out of the TSSA fund. So we try to have, we have multiple plans. We're trying to align our plans together to help make that. But again, this is the same framework we have used. It's something we can certainly look at if we want to reevaluate it. But our principals are getting prepared to meet with their school community councils to prepare their TSSA, also known as the Student Success Plans for the 25, sorry, I don't need to make, oh, I'm driving the bus here, for the 2025-2026 school year. So if you have questions, I'd be happy to answer them. If you feel so moved, it would be, I would ask for a motion to approve this framework with the 2025-2026 TSSA plans.
I have a question. And maybe I am totally off, but I thought the TSSA funds were a one-time funding source.
No, they are consistent. They have been consistent. Currently, there is legislation that may change that moving forward, but right now their TSSA has been consistent. We were talking about, I think it's been about 5 years. We were talking about that as a staff the other day. For 5 years, and there have been increases to that funding. So that's been really nice.
Okay, maybe, and there was a significant amount during COVID added. Maybe that's where.
So not to the TSSA, but there was a lot of stimulus money. There was a lot of ESSER money. It was ESSER. ESSER is the other one. So there was ESSER 1, ESSER 2, ESSER 3, Gears 1, Gears 2. So we had a lot of that. That's good that you said that. All of the stimulus money that in the ESSER and Gears funds had to be expended by September of 2024. So all of those pots are gone. So we really do appreciate this stable account that currently is stable, along with the school land trust monies that our school community councils can work together with their building team to decide how to spend it to benefit our students. So that kind of clears that. Lots of acronyms.
Yeah. And I remember setting these goals a long time. It's appropriate to mention this just with Jason here. In those 4 categories, one of them was the 4 at the top, the technology one. And when we really set out with these 4 things, technology was so far behind. Where I thought we were years behind other school districts, and I don't feel like we are now. So thank you for your leadership in doing that. So just notice these goals were ones we've done for a while.
Okay, any other discussion or question?
So is this something that will update yearly or as needed or?
So the board can certainly meet and update it if we would like to change what we'd like to see. we try to, it's broad enough that our student schools hopefully can fit in the things that we see as their needs, because it really is pass-through monies that comes to the district, and then we pass it through to the school, and their local building leadership team can be canceled, but absolutely. If we wanted to meet in the summer, I think it would be fair to do that early on, so our principals know that there's gonna be a different framework to work from.
I was just thinking on that first section, how we're doing, how we're looking at students with exceptionalities. I mean, we're not there yet to have it here, but I really like some of the Director Gail's language that could easily focus in here where we're looking at students across the whole district. It might make sense to put something.
And that's very, very fair.
Yes, but we can update it when we get there. Yeah. Here we go. We're going.
Any other comments, questions? If not, I will entertain a motion. I have a motion to approve our TSSA framework. Do we have a second?
A second.
I have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of approving the TSSA framework? Any opposed? That motion also passes.
Thank you. We'll get that out to our principals. My second agenda item is just a reminder, a change in Utah law last year at the 2024 legislative session now requires elected officials, whether it be at the state or local level, to file a conflict of interest disclosure form no later than January 31st of the year. And then that information does need to be posted publicly on the entity's website. So I emailed it to you, you can fill out a PDF copy. I also printed a copy. If you could please fill those out, doesn't matter if it's handwritten or typed, whatever way you'd like to do that. I will then make sure that I get those put on our website, and then I do have to report to the Lieutenant Governor by February 1st, I believe it is in statute, that we have been complying with this law. So, any questions on that? And then my third item, I would request President Cooper that we go into a closed session to discuss personnel and property and legal.
Okay, I'll take it on board. Jill?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we will take a 5-minute recess and then we will resume the closed session.
Thank you. And I will have Directors Dean and Assistant Superintendent Weehom be on the stage for the closed session.